Hello, everyone. It's me, Rebel Trader, with Take the Initiative. We've got bonus coverage of the Portland Sector Qualifier here. These were matches that were on the stream tables, but were not streamed, or at least not in their entirety. Because we had two stream tables. One was the primary and one was the backup. And sometimes we switched to the backup before it ended, and other times we didn't. But either way, we recorded the whole thing. So we're going to be releasing these videos showing those matches or parts of matches that didn't end up on stream but still ended up being recorded. So this one we've got round 9, first round of day 2, Mike Gemme on the left playing Palp Yellow, Steven Gower on the right playing Thrawn Data Vault. Super unique blue-green villain control deck. Mike didn't open with a turn 1 play. Looks like he's holding multiple copies of Devastator. Looks like Sneak Attack and Vader, a bunch of stuff that he wants to play later. So he did pick up an Aura Sing this turn, so he's got some kind of play. And Steven's Inferno 4 just going to base. And Steven then going to drop a Night Sister Warrior. And that's the point of this Thrawn deck. It's just running a bunch of cheap units that draw cards or otherwise generate card advantage. Things like Cobb Vanth, Owen Lars, and this Night Sister Warrior that are going to allow Steven to just dig real deep into his deck and get a massive grip of cards. But right now, it looks like these players are just throwing their stuff into each other's base. Mike gets a ramp card here, drops the resupply. Looks like no ramp in Steven's hand from what I can tell. Can't quite see everything in his hand, though. Looks like he's just going to play a Lothwolf. Lothwolf is an interesting add in this Thrawn deck. It is a hero card, and it's mainly in there to turn Anakin on. But it can also be pulled for free with Cobb Vanth. So that's why it's in there. Because Cobb Vanth just says peg a unit, cost 2 or less, and you can play it for free. Doesn't say anything about aspects. So that's why the Lothwolf is in there. I actually did a lot of work on the Thrawn deck going into the tournament, thinking it might be something worth playing. Didn't end up getting it exactly where I wanted, but credit to Steven for taking it out here. I also tested a bit of Palp Yellow. So Mike goes attacks into the Lothwolf with the Aura here. That allows the Night Sister Warrior to finish it off. Now, Steven kind of wants the Night Sister Warrior to start dying here because he wants to get that card advantage. Instead, he's going to end up using his Thrawn ability here on an Inferno 4. While Mike has 6 open resources, so Mike gets to play Super Laser Tech here. That's the second ramp card now for him. Yeah, yep, he's going to use the Palpatine there. Draw a card. And the Night Sister Warrior only gets 1 card draw here instead of the second one from Thrawn. I do believe there was an Anakin on top of the deck that we saw with that Inferno 4, which is now turned on for doubles. But in this matchup, the Anakin's not quite as critical as some other stuff. So it looks like, yeah, Steven's just going to run the Inferno 4 in there. He's already got 10 damage done. Thrawn can flip this turn as a 4 attacker. But Palpatine can also flip this turn if Mike wants to. But Mike looks like he's just going to play a Vader into the open board here. Search the top 10. Probably looking for a Bazine here to disrupt some of Steven's plays, but it doesn't look like he got one. Got a couple other options for plays. Looks like ISB, Salacious Crumb, and P38. I mean, with Palpatine, like, getting a density of units is oftentimes super worth it. But sometimes that P38 is just all you need. P38 is such a good card in these Palpatine decks. It's going to come out here, deal 1 damage to the Inferno 4. And then if Mike wants to, we can go Palpatine again, clear the Inferno 4, or, deal 2 damage to something else, potentially. So Thrawn is going to come out here. Mike doesn't have an easy way to deal with it. Looks like he's just going to flip and steal the Inferno 4. I mean, it's not horrible here. You want to get value out of that Palp as early as possible. Usually it's a trap to wait on it, in my experience. So, Anakin comes down here, is going to give that Palpatine -6/-6, which is going to allow the Thrawn to deal with it nicely. Okay, so it looks like they're dealing with how the Inferno 4 would resolve. And yeah, so they got it. So the Palpatine draws the card, and then the Inferno 4 triggers. And then Thrawn is going to run over that Palpatine. So Mike, with the massive resource advantage here, having double ramped, and with a Vader and a P38 on board, facing off against Steven, who's done well for himself despite not ramping, having the Thrawn leader and the Anakin on board. Mike's looking at his Vader, going to just hit base. All right. Anakin gonna do the same. Hidden base, bringing Mike up to 15. Who's gonna win this race? Mike might look like he's behind, but this Palpatine deck can catch up fast, especially like having double ramped. So it looks like he's gonna spend 8 here. 9? No, he's undoing it. Gonna swing P38 before doing anything. Thrawn goes into base, bringing Mike up to 19. Steven's at 11. And 8 resources here. Reinforcement Walker. That's massive. Gonna heal 3. And present another big thing for Steven to deal with here. Does Steven have a way to answer some of these threats? I'm going to drop a Chimera here, which does nothing with no units on board. And he's got a couple more resources, right? Should have 2 more resources. Looks like he's got nothing for him. Just going to put those TIE Fighter tokens at the ready in case Chimera dies. Chimera's an interesting one. It's not a card I've played a ton in this deck, but it can sometimes get a lot of value. It has a when defeated to make I believe 3 TIE Fighter tokens, and then when it's played, you get to use a when defeated ability on one of your cards without defeating it. So that's nice. All right. Mike gets the initiative this time. Just gonna swing in with the reinforcement walker and get more healing going. So he's now taken the lead in damage dealt, even when accounting for remaining health. Chimera is going to run over the P38 here. P38's death damage puts 1 on Thrawn. That puts the Thrawn in range of getting Vadered. But it looks like Mike is just going to change of heart this Anakin here. And then he can hit for 10. That's 27. I think he had a sneak attack earlier. If he's got something to pay off that with, he could even get there this turn, maybe. depending on what he has in hand. Either way, Steven's not going to see that Anakin again because it's going to get palped if the game's not over at the end of this round. Steven looking at his hand, just going to fire off a Power of the Dark Side here. And, ooh, Mike gets rid of the Reinforcement Walker, which is a sign that he thinks he can get there this turn. So Anakin's going to swing in, bring Steven to 22. And then is that looks like 8th brother. So maybe going to swing into Vader for 5. Speaking of Vader for 5, he goes into base for 5. Thrawn is going to trade with the Vader here. Oh no, actually he's going to go into base. And then we see sneak attack for Contract Hunter. It's not quite enough to for lethal this turn, but it's enough to bring. Oh, he's got second sneak attack for P-38, and that is enough to get there. Okay, so Mike gets there pretty quick in game 1. These two players had fairly slow starts, but Mike eventually found double ramp and then really just brought to bear the power of this Palpatine top end here by flipping, playing Vader, playing Reinforcement Walker, and then he had double sneak attack at the end, plus the change of heart to find what in a grand total of 4, 5, 6, 7 plus 5, 12 extra damage in one turn with those events to get there in the end. I'm gonna fast forward through sideboarding, and we'll see you guys for game 2. All right, so we're back for game 2 here. Both these players took a mulligan. So this is the hands these are the hands they'll be stuck with. So Steven is going to start us off with an Owen Lars. One thing we didn't see last game was a ton of card advantage off the Thrawn, which is, generally speaking, what this Thrawn deck really wants to be doing. But hopefully with an Owen out there, he can get some value out of it. The Lothcat is, I mean, it's an okay start for Mike. It can generate lots of value just by exhausting random things when required. Resupply can be played there. I believe the restore on the Owen kind of cancels out the attack from the Lothcat. P-38 going to come down from Mike and just put a damage on the Owen. That does put it in range of being Lothcat at this turn if Mike wants to start applying pressure. It does give away some card advantage. And it looks like they both end up passing here. I was going to say Steven also could have just rammed the Owen into the Lothcat. But Steven did ramp that game, which is something that he did not do in game 1, and Mike did twice. So we'll see if that makes a difference. Mike is holding a super laser here. So he is going to get on the ramp board as well. It looks like, did Steven retain initiative here? No, he didn't. Okay. So Mike is going to end up killing the Owen with the Lothcat here. And we're going to see most likely double triggered Owen here, unless Steven's got some other plans. So first trigger picks up a Maul. And yep, there will be a second trigger. Owen gets to look through the top 5 cards of the deck. pick any force unit and add it to the hand. And that is, I believe, an 8th brother. So 2 big ambushers picked up by the Owen. And then Night Sister Warrior comes down for Steven. And Super Laser Attack for Mike. And then Palpatine can be used to just put a damage on the Night Sister Warrior and trigger that Super Laser. Steven's got 3 more resources to use. Does he have something for it? Going to pass there, it looks like. Take a hit from the P-38. And then, yeah, no. Just take initiative. Nothing else to do with those resources. Night Sister Warrior didn't die last turn, which means it is in the realm of possibility to double trigger it with Thrawn here. And this is going to be the Thrawn flip turn for Steven. Looks like, yep, Night Sister Warrior is going to crash here. And then Thrawn will be triggered again on that Night Sister Warrior. So after Thrawn flips here, he can actually double trigger something again. So if Steven's got another way to have one of his units defeated, we might see that. Mike's just hitting base with those P-38s. Gonna play a second one out. And looks like Mike is gonna ramp again here. And Cobb Vanth for Steven. Cobb Vanth is one of the better cards in this deck. And it looks like double ramp for Steven also. So last game, only one of these players double ramped. This game, both of them have. And Mike gets initiative. So now it is Palpatine's flip turn. And just, generically the 8 resource turn for Steven. So Mike going to start us off with 6 resources. Is that a change of heart? It is change of heart. Steal that Cobb Vanth to deny the value. And Mike can, of course, make a good use out of the Cobb Vanth as well. Like Steven's just going to go to base here with Thrawn. Sort of unconcerned about the Cobb Vanth. I mean, it is what it is. 6 resources is a lot to be spending on it. You're not, horribly mad if you're Steven in this position. Mike's just going to run into base. Might as well get the extra damage in there. Seven resources for Maul. Did Steven just not resource here? He might just not have. Thinking maybe he didn't have anything for 8. So it looks like Mike is reading Cobb Vanth. So yeah, you get to look at the top 10 cards of your deck, discard a unit that costs 2 or less, and then for the rest of the phase you can play that unit for free. So he's going to find a Bazine, which is pretty much exactly what you're looking for in this matchup. And then next action, he's just going to play it. Show Vader, Anakin, Maul, 8th brother, return. So the pick here is probably either nothing or it's the Vader. Because if you discard any of the other things, they can just be returned. Looks like he's just going to take a copy of Return here. Steven picks up Relentless. Both these players have Palp's Return and Relentless in their sideboard. It looks like, I think that's a Relentless in Mike's hand, so they probably both opted to bring those in. So Steven takes initiative, and he's just going to get hit in space by those P38s. And then Mike, I imagine, is just going to flip Palpatine, steal this Maul here. I don't think I would be all that greedy if I were in issues. Gonna throw the Bazine into Thrawn while he can. Yep. Just steals that Thrawn. And then is going to hit 4 into base. I think that's 19 damage on Steven's base. It's starting to add up. Steven's gotta stabilize here soon. Is he on? He is on 3 copies of Super Laser Blast. So if one of those is coming, he's gotta feel like he's not in a horrible spot. So he's gonna go Timely for. We knew he had that Vader in hand. So yeah, he's gonna go. Looks like Shield, Palpatine, ambush into his Maul, take the damage from the attack on the Shield, and then defeat the Palpatine. Going to 22. So we are. I mean, especially if the second P38 gets a hit off, which I don't believe there's anything that can prevent it, we're in sneak attack Devastator range. Steven's going to run 4 to base. P38 goes in. That's, I think, 25 on base. And then just Relentless coming down for Steven. Steven, it looks like, doesn't have Devastator in his list, which would be the one big thing that gets him out of this. And so I think that might just be it. Well, actually, he does have Anakin. But actually, no, I mean, with the P38s on board, that doesn't get there. He's got 8 health left, facing down 14 damage. Anakin gets rid of 6 of it. He's looking through his resources, trying to find a way. It looks like he does have the Super Laser Blast in hand. It looks like probably just a bit turn too late for that to be super relevant. And he extends the handshake. And Mike Gemme, a.k.a. Bobby Sapphire, takes this one down in round 9. Moves to 8-1. So thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We'll be back with more of these bonus coverage games over the course of the week. I'm trying to get them out as fast as I can. So thank you all for tuning in, and remember to always take the initiative.